Paramyotonia is a rare congenital neuromuscular disorder. Paradoxical myotonia is where it actually gets its name, paramyotonia. And the paradoxical myotonia just means that with movement, it actually tends to get worse, whereas people with myotonia congenita, actually with movement, it tends to get better. So the myotonia, the locking up and seizing up of the muscles in myotonia congenita, is typically relieved. You can kind of work it out, warm up your muscles and work it out. Whereas with paramyotonia congenita, the more you work out, like if you're running, and this is what I find if I'm running, my legs just keep getting tighter and tighter. It's like someone's cranking something, and it just is just locking everything up tighter and tighter and tighter until you can't move. That's also called periodic paralysis and potassium aggravated myotonia and hyperkalemic. Hyperkalemic paramyotonia just means that high levels of potassium, or sometimes any potassium, throughout the day can actually aggravate your symptoms and make you have the symptoms of myotonia. You can have potassium-induced symptoms, like I had said before, so potassium-provoked attacks of myotonia, and periodic paralysis, which means it's just really difficult for you to move at all. Your body can just seize up and lock up and you can't really move. And also cold can really induce some symptoms for a lot of people. Sometimes people with paramyotonia, heat and cold the extremes of either one can really cause them to have really extreme symptoms. Some of the symptoms are muscle stiffness. So when you're doing anything, your muscles are locking up really bad. Cold or extreme temperature induced myotonia, cramping up, locking up, stiffness. Eating cold foods can sometimes cause people with paramyotonia to have problems, so be cautious when you're eating ice creams or things like that. Just really cold foods, really cold beverages, because it can make your throat and chest lock up. What is paramyotonia caused by? Paramyotonia is caused by a mutation in the sodium channel SCN4A. One good thing is, if you aren't experiencing any muscle weakness and you are past your adolescent phase, you will most likely not have any muscle weakness issues. And if you are having muscle weakness issues, then it is definitely something to go and visit your doctor about immediately. Is the gene passed on to your children? Yes, the gene absolutely can be passed on to your children. You have a 50% chance of passing it on, and each child differs in severity. It is honestly a personal choice. I would recommend seeing a genetic counselor so that you can discuss your options as far as your future and your concerns. Some paramyotonia actually is aggravated by the fact that people don't have enough potassium. Some of it's aggravated by having too much potassium. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a quick list of some of the foods so that you can either avoid them if you are hyperkalemic, or if you're hypokalemic, which means you need more potassium. Then either way, this is a list of things that you can add more into your diet or you can take out of it, depending on hyperkalemic or hypokalemic. So as far as fruits, cantaloupe, apricots, kiwi, figs, peaches, raisins, bananas, prunes, orange juice is another one that can really aggravate your symptoms. As far as beans, legumes, and vegetables, as beans, legumes, vegetables, and all those go, artichokes, lentils, beans, parsnips, potato, pumpkin, spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, tomato. Peanut butter and chocolate has also been shown to have high levels of potassium, and in several studies that they've done, carrots and watermelon, which I haven't found to be particularly high in potassium, but they do seem to cause an onset of symptoms. So those I would just either eat in moderation. If you have a really big love relationship with carrots and watermelon, just eat them in moderation and watch your symptoms. Maybe do some food journaling. Alright guys, so that about wraps it up. I'm going to go ahead and continue this series. In the next few videos, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some alternative methods to medication. If you're on medication, obviously, make sure you speak to your doctor if you're wanting to get away from that, and if you're wanting to try alternative methods. Do not do anything without consulting them first. and make sure that you're doing your own research as well. I am not your only source for PMC information. I am also going to be doing things like yoga and stretches and warm-ups to help alleviate some of the symptoms of the locking up, the myotonia. I'm also going to be going over foods, so be sure to leave questions below for me to answer, and if you're too embarrassed to leave them in the bar below, then go ahead and personal message me and I will be sure to get to them. Thank you guys.